My dad needs a 10K loan. My dad called and requested a 10K loan from me. I don't have that in cash, but I do have in stock, which I can transfer directly to him, or I can take a loan out from my 401k. He will pay me back in 45 days. I understand that I should operate as if I will not see this cash again. Curious as to what the best approach for me personally will be. I have $37,000 in the 401k maxed out from last year, and my contributions thus far for this year, and I have about 21k in the stock market. And for further clarification, as I said, I am operating as if I will not see this money again. I understand for clarification for people worried about loan sharks, they recently closed on a new home and are not super liquid. His investments are almost exclusively in real estate. Their horses recently became very sick and veterinary bills stacked up, and he needs to make a payment in order for the vet to come back out and treat the horses. Another edit: he has provided a promissory note with a payment date of August 15th, 2023 for the full payment of the loan and 8% interest. And for more clarity, I spoke to my dad to ask what was up. He just paid for two weddings in the span of 9 months. He just paid taxes and then was also hit by the vet bills. He is cash poor right now. He needs the cash for float. He will be paying me back via the rent from other properties he owns. Next collection is July. I understand that people have had horrible, horrible experiences loaning money to family members, and that's awful. However, this is family, and the point of my post was never asking if I should, but how to best go about getting him the funds. My 401k offers a 1% interest rate on a loan out of it to be paid over 1 to 5 years, and I can be paid in full at any time. So basically, what the person is really trying to get at, because probably a lot of people in the comment section are going crazy, is like this guy, individual, whatever, is was never planning on basically really getting the money back, right? Now he can pretty much assume that he will get paid back, right? Because he trusts his family, but he was going to operate originally from the get go as if he wasn't going to get the money back. And what would be the best route to actually give his dad $10,000, right? So if you go back to this, right? Da-da-da-da. I understand that I should operate as if I will not see this cash again, right? So this is a statement. He was already, right? Well, this individual, Reddit or whatever, was already trying to plan on giving their dad $10,000 as if the $10,000 was just a gift, but how could he do that in the best way possible for themselves, right? Now they say that they don't have the money in cash, right? They have 37k in 401k maxed out, and they also have 21k in the stock market. Now, if you were to just give this to your family member basically in cash, right? Like you're trying to do this in cash. What you could do, now this is definitely not good, right? And I'm not going to tell this person to like go loan their money out, right? It's like a pretty bad situation no matter which way you look at it. But what I would do would be to sell the stocks that you have in the stock market and then give the remaining money also like after like setting aside money for like paying taxes and whatnot and give the dad $10,000 cash, but say like, hey, I had to sell stock to give you this money. When you pay me back, do this, right? Pay me back in that way. Although the big issue is that apparently the dad did do basically a promissory note with a payment date of August 15th, 2023 for the full payment of the loan and 8% interest, right? So that's the big issue is like basically the dad already agreed to give him the money, but at like an 8% interest rate. But the problem with that is that if this person were to sell the stock to do it, he's still going to be in the hole a good amount of money, which is why this person says, my 401k offers a 1% interest rate on a loan out of it to be paid over 1 to 5 years and can be paid in full at any time. So I can't personally ever recommend someone basically loaning out their money like this, but based off the promissory note of the dad, this would potentially make him have the most, I guess, profit, right? Because if he were to do what I would do personally, where I would just sell the stock, well, you get hit with the taxes on that on the growth. So the 21k might actually be more like 15k after everything's said and done, and you're giving 10k to the dad if the dad even pays it back, right? So you could be losing a good amount more than just 10k if the dad doesn't pay you back. With this one, technically speaking, you're only risking $10,000. So this is technically an option that you could do, but definitely not something that you should do, right? Because then that puts you on the hook for the 401k, which is never a good idea, right? So, again, if this was me, regardless of the promissory note, like I'm just saying, like I understand what this person's line of thinking is that, oh, I could just loan out, get a loan on like my 401k, give the dad the money, the dad will pay me back, I'll get an 8% interest rate, so 8% minus 1%, I'll get a 7% spread, all good. Like the math works on that. The problem is when it comes with family, math doesn't necessarily always work or always happen. So, again, if this was me, I would sell the stock, get hit with the burden of the taxes, and then basically just give the money to the dad and be like, look, you don't even got to pay me back. Just take it. Just don't ask for money again, right? That would be the type of viewpoint that I would take. That would be the path that I would take, right? Now, again, this whole family situation might be like might be a situation where like blood is thicker than water kind of thing, or like they stick by each other no matter what. Apparently the dad paid for a bunch of weddings for his kids potentially, so the dad probably takes care of a lot of stuff financially speaking for the whole family. So the kid probably thinks like, oh, like 10k, like after everything that my parent did for me, 10k ain't nothing, right? Which I could understand that viewpoint. It's like if I had a parent that did a whole bunch of stuff for me and they asked for 10k, I'd probably just give them 10k if they probably did a whole bunch for me my whole life. So why wouldn't I go down that route of just giving them the money? So that's the way that I would view it. I would just straight up sell the stock, get hit with the burden of the taxes, and just give the person the money without even worrying about getting paid back at all. Just as like doing it as a gift for the family member, based on the assumption that like the family member is just like a good family member, just in a bad spot right now, and then just move on. Regardless if I was going to get paid back or not. Be like, whatever, I loved my family member and I want to take care of them, so I'm just going to do that.